Hi, welcome to Love Saranghae with Peter and Andrea. In the next 30 minutes, we'll take you on a journey into the exciting world of entrepreneurship, relationships, and the secrets behind achieving that coveted glow. Are you ready? Let's go.
Welcome back to another episode of Love Saranghae with us, Peter and Andrea. Today we're doing another skincare Q&A, and I just wanted to say that we're very, very grateful for all the questions that are coming in. We're noticing that more are coming in, and it really makes us happy because it makes us feel like we're being useful.
Yeah, and this is good because what happens is that, because we do so many of these, we don't think that the questions are important. But when you, our listeners and our customers, sending these questions, we realize that these are important and they're at the top of your mind. So this is great.
This is where our focus should be. So thank you so much. Okay, customer number 1, her name is Jo B, and her skin type is combination oily and patches, and her skin concern is rosacea and redness, and her age or skin stage is mid-mature. Okay, her question is, hi Saranghae, my skin has changed greatly since having children. Tell me about it.
Yeah,
including increased sensitivity to sunscreens. I've tried probably 30 chemical or mineral sunscreens. Often I will apply the sunscreen in the morning. As soon as I step outside into the sun, I have an allergic reaction, causing red and hot rashes. My dermatologist shared it may be a photoallergic reaction. Have you heard of anyone having a reaction like that with your sunscreen? I've just purchased your Let's Get Physical SPF sunscreen, and I'm hoping this is the one that works for me.
Okay. Hi, Jo, and thank you for writing that in. That's a great question. It's not a common one because photoallergic reaction is not all that common, but it does happen, especially after pregnancy. That it usually is the number one cause of the skin change. So let me answer that question for you. So a photoallergic reaction to sunscreen is a type of skin allergy that occurs after applying the sunscreen and then being exposed to sunlight. But there's a little bit of a nuance that we got to understand here. It's a delayed hypersensitivity reaction, which means your immune system reacts not to the sunscreen itself, but to the new chemical compound formed when the sunscreen interacts with sunlight, usually the UV rays. So let's make sure that we get that straight. Even with all of the cheaper and chemical sunscreens that you might wear, when you have photoallergic reaction, it's not that the sunscreen's reacting with your skin. It's that when the UV rays hit that sunscreen, the new chemical composition that is formed when you have UV rays, sunscreen, in your skin, your hormones or whatever the oils are your skin's producing, creates a very special reaction. Again, not very often, but it does happen. It typically shows up as itchy, red, almost eczema-like rashes or areas exposed to sunlight. The big problem, is that the reaction can occur an hour to sometimes 2 or 3 days after sun exposure. So this makes it hard to kind of pinpoint whether this is photoallergic reaction or not.
Where it's coming from.
Yeah. So, why does it happen? Well, some ingredients in sunscreen are allergenic when they're altered by UV exposure. And it's usually 99% of the time the filters found in chemical sunscreens: oxybenzone, avobenzone, octocrylene, something called PABA or PABA, para-aminobenzoic acid. It's no longer used in sunscreens anymore, but it used to be very popular in chemical sunscreen, and also fragrances and preservatives. So Jo mentioned that she's used physical sunscreens in the past and she still suffered from photoallergic reaction. It could be because of either titanium dioxide or fragrances, because most sunscreens out there try to hide that sunscreeny smell with fragrances, and that could be causing the photoallergic reaction. Again, not everyone reacts like this, but everyone's individual immune sensitivity and skin is unique. So, 1 out of every probably 1,000 or 1 out of every 10,000 react this way. Now, here's the good news for us. Our Let's Get Physical Sheer UV Defense SPF 50 sunscreen has no chemical filters and no fragrance. It is as raw as it's going to get. So it's completely unscented and completely raw. And we designed it with sensitive skin and photoallergic sensitive skin in mind, right? So we designed it with that as a thought process in the first place. Does this mean that we can prevent all photoallergic reactions 100% of the time? No, that's not what it means. Again, everyone is so unique that there will be someone that reacts no matter what. So there's just too much that depends on individual immune variations, right?
But the risk is minimal.
Exactly. But we're confident that out of all the sunscreens out there, we're the best one on the market to prevent this issue. So I think Joe's going to be very surprised and happy that sunscreen is going to work for her.
Yeah. I hope so.
I hope so too.
We've had this out for quite some time and we've had no reactions as of yet. And we have a wide range of customers with very sensitive skin. We have customers who've suffered from melanoma. We have a lot of different types of skin. And so far, we've had no reactions.
Well, I mean,
we hope you are one of them.
Yeah, I mean, we've shipped this sunscreen to, thousands of customers to date. And the only complaint that we've ever gotten is that it smells
like zinc oxide.
Like zinc oxide. It doesn't smell nice. Well, I mean, if you don't put fragrance in and perfume in, it's going to smell like the raw ingredient, right? The raw zinc oxide. And that's what it smells like. So if you don't like that, unfortunately ours won't work for you. But I think a lot of our customers are coming around to the fact that that's kind of like the sign that it's a good sunscreen.
Yeah,
right?
It's one of those things that we have to get used to because growing up, at least for me, I've always used fragrance because that's what was available. And we didn't have the knowledge that we have now about those types of smelly chemicals, if you will. So now we have to train our brains and our bodies and all the things to accept the authentic smell of the ingredient, the purity of the ingredient. And sometimes that's easier said than done.
Well, what's interesting is when I was a kid and I was using Banana Boat or Hawaiian Tropic, and it smelled like coconut, I'm like, ooh, coconut smell, right? But what I didn't know is that it wasn't really coconut. It was just a chemical compound that made my brain think it smelled like coconut. So, and that's not a good thing.
No.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Number 2.
Next question.
All right. Let me add it to you. He say, customer is Rose N. Skin type is combination. Skin stage is mature, about 45 to 54 in that range. Hi, Saranghae. Can I swim in ocean with your sunscreen? And how long will it last before I need to reapply? When should you reapply in general if you're just walking around? Thank you, Rose. We seem to be getting a lot of questions about sunscreen. Maybe it's because the summer is coming up.
I think so. I think it's with the weather changing. People are getting excited about the summer and they want to be prepared. And I think it's great.
Okay.
Hi, Rose. Thank you for writing in. Our SPF 50 is water resistant up to 40 minutes. On the higher end of the water resistance spectrum. So this rating is valid for ocean swimming or swimming pool. And this means that you're diving into the water. So up to 40 minutes you're in the water, you are fully protected. We do recommend that you reapply the sunscreen every 45 minutes to an hour, even if you're not constantly in the water, but just to be safe. It's best to reapply even every hour if you are in and out of an ocean or a pool. One thing to note, that the sunscreen that we have is Reef Ocean Safe. So it's 100% non-nano zinc oxide, which means that it is reef and ocean safe. So it is safe for the life underwater. So as a side note, if you're swimming in the ocean, please be sure to apply the sunscreen every 45 minutes to an hour. If you're swimming in the pool, try to be mindful of reapplying often. When you're going about your day, the standard practice is reapplying every 2 to 3 hours. However, our sunscreen has shown very little drop-off in the UV filter performance in intense sunlight for up to 6 to 8 hours without reapplication. So that is a significant factor of safety here. So again, the general rule is to apply every 2 to 3 hours. However, our research has shown that our sunscreen actually is quite effective outside of swimming. So if you're not swimming, that is, and you're not profusely sweating, you should be okay for 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah. Just going back about the Reef-Safe, I think people might be wondering what that means. We take it for granted, Reef-Safe and reef-friendly. and ocean friendly. So what that means is that chemical sunscreens, avobenzone, oxoacrylate, oxybenzone, when they are washed off in the water, in the ocean, and they accumulate in the water, they will kill ocean animals. They will kill the reefs, coral reefs, and the effect is that they look bleached white. And they will also start slowly poisoning and killing the marine life in the area as well, fish and stuff. But that's what it means. So it will
basically
literally kill.
It's toxic to ocean life.
Yes, it's very toxic. And there's no debate about that. People can write in talking about how, the fear-mongering or, this chemical is just as safe. You can't deny the science on this. Chemical sunscreen filters are very, very toxic to ocean life.
And in some places like Australia and Hawaii, they're banned.
They're banned.
In the water, in the ocean, because of their deliberate attempt to save what's left of the underworld, if you will. So hopefully that helps and that makes sense. And as always, if you have any other question related to what we talked about today or anything else, please feel free to write in. We're always happy to answer your questions.
Thank you, and all the best.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Live Saranghae with us, Peter and Andrea. If you've enjoyed this episode, leave us a review. Your ratings and reviews help more people like you find our show. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode and share this podcast with someone you think would love it. Until next time, love yourself, love one another, and love the world.